What's going on, Trojan family? Welcome to the USC LAFB show here on the LAFB network. We are Los Angeles Sports. This is your daily dose of USC Trojans news. Hope everyone's doing well. Thank you, as always, for making this a part of your day. Tomorrow, or depending when you listen to this, but on Wednesday, myself, Tim Prangley. I know a lot of you have been asking, like, where's Tim been? You know, it's summer, people are traveling, but myself, Tim, and the Madman are all making the trip out to Vegas for Big Ten Media Days to see USC, Lincoln Riley, Makai Lemon, the whole gang there. Cannot wait. So it started Tuesday, so today when I'm recording this, and runs Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but USC will not be there till Thursday, so, you know, we're going out Thursday, making the trip to the desert to bring you all the action from Big Ten Media Days. So make sure, if you're not already, hit that like and subscribe button here at the here at the USC LAFB YouTube channel. You can follow all of our content at LAFBnetwork.com. I'll be writing a bunch of stuff there as well. So make sure you're locked in with our USC coverage live from Big Ten Media Days. We'll be doing a kind of preview tomorrow night, so Wednesday evening from Vegas. And then obviously we'll do a bunch of live stuff on Thursday as we will be there on the floor. Should be a lot of fun stuff. Probably some good sound bites. So we'll have it all for you here, right here. Become a member if you have not already. Easy to do. Right on our YouTube page, you can subscribe, become a member. Part of your membership goes to support youth sports here in Los Angeles. You'll be supporting LAFB, but you'll also be supporting youth sports in LA, as a portion of your membership every month will be donated to different initiatives. Right now, we're working with one with Anthony Beavers and LA Best. We're working with another one that supports girls flag football initiatives in partnership with Matt Leinart and Will Farrell and others. So I've got a lot of stuff, a lot of fun stuff cooking, but passionate about helping out the LA community and specifically with the youth sports here in Los Angeles. So you can help be a part of that while also supporting what we do here at LAFB. So, all right, enough of that. Real quick, I want to get on here because our friend Paul Finebaum is at it again. I know, because I know I am, USC fans are sick of hearing it, sick of seeing his name pop up. But, you know, on the eve of going to Big Ten Media Days, he, out of nowhere, just throws more shots at Lincoln Riley. So I just wanted to come on here and kind of briefly touch on it. You know, it's at this point, it's a vendetta. There's absolutely something behind the scenes that has happened. Has to have been. Or he knows, which I am now doing, but he knows that USC fans and USC content creators will just eat it up every time, and so his engagement goes through the roof. Like it's almost at the point where unless something actually did happen behind the scenes where he like just hates Lincoln Riley, ESPN literally tells him, like, hey, you got to mention Lincoln Riley once a month because it drives ratings up, because we get all USC hot and bothered and they start coming to all of our channels and engaging. Like, it almost seems like it's in his contract that ESPN forces him to bring it up, because half the time it's not even like on what the topic should be. It's unannounced. He just brings it up. So today, I apologize in advance if I'm going to mispronounce this last name. I not know the person, but obviously I've seen him. Most of you seen him around college football. But he was on the Dari Nauka show on ESPN. Dari Nauka does stuff on ESPN, does stuff with the SEC. So he was on that show. And to wrap the show up, unannounced, unquestioned, had to talk about Lincoln Riley. Literally says, like, now I know we're wrapping up the segment, but I got to end the show by talking about Lincoln Riley. And he says, this is what he says, quote, "The thing that I'm most excited about at Big Ten Media Days," which I'm sure Paul Finebaum will not be attending. He would never do it in person to Lincoln Riley. "The thing I'm most excited about at Big Ten Media Days is I want to hear Lincoln Riley try to explain his last 2 years, because I can't think of anybody whose coaching has been more fraudulent since his first year with Caleb Williams. I say that as somebody who admire what Lincoln Riley did at OU. I didn't admire the way he left. I know a lot of people are still gnashing teeth in Norman and Oklahoma City and across that state, but I frankly believe the Sooner Nation is better off today than it would have been had he stayed around, because there is something wrong with this guy. I am underwhelmed, and I can't think of a coach in modern time who's making the kind of money that he's making who has done less. So again, this was unprovoked. No question was asked about Lincoln Riley. I don't even know what the segments prior to this. I just saw this clip, but he decided, must have been in his contract. He had to hit that snippet to get out there about Lincoln Riley. Couple things to unpack. I mean, like I said, there's this. It's laughable at this point. It's just laughable because it's not even like good analysis. It's not even true analysis. Like, I think now Oklahoma fans, we used to joke about this all the time. Like, we would get some of our most engagement during Lincoln Riley's first year or two from Oklahoma fans because of how upset they were. And so anytime USC would lose and we'd do a live show, 60% of the viewers were Oklahoma fans. There to just talk, told you so, we warned you, yada, yada, yada. That has cooled now. And I'm not saying they've forgiven Lincoln Riley. I'm not saying they necessarily want him back. But I don't think many knowledgeable Oklahoma fans would say they're in a better spot right now than if Lincoln Riley had stayed. And that's not to disrespect Brett Venables, but you go 6-7, then you go 10-3, and then you go 6-7, and they have like a pretty dormant 2026 recruiting class. They really don't have NIL figured out. Like, they're one of the bottom SEC teams in terms of like how they're building in 2026 moving forward. Like, I don't think any knowledgeable person would say Oklahoma's in a better spot right now. I just don't. Like, we'll see how this year plays out. We'll see. Maybe they will surprise people. And again, I'm not doing anything to try to bag on Oklahoma, but it's just not a true statement. They went 6-7 last year. They haven't won a bowl game. They lost to Arizona in their 10-3 year. They lost last year to what, Navy? I mean, it's not a program in a better spot than with Lincoln Riley. They're certainly not in a better spot than what USC is right now, regardless of USC going 7-6 last year, which was a better record than 6-7. But they're also in a much better spot. Number 1 2026 recruiting class, one of the top NIL programs in all of college football, highest net worth, one of the highest net worth programs in all of college football, elite coaching staff. Like, it's just not a true statement. So that's laughable. And then people love bringing up how much Lincoln Riley makes. And again, I think I'm probably one of the more optimistic people when talking about USC and Lincoln Riley, but I do try to keep it real. Like, it has not been a 100% mistake-free 3 years. Like, there's been many mistakes. USC should never be going 7-6. So this isn't sitting here saying like, oh yeah, he's wrong, the tenure's been good. But I will say everyone loves bringing up the amount of money he makes, and it's a lot of money. 10-year, $110 million, whatever valuation contract was. But when you look at the per year salary now, and this statement of, I can't think of a coach in modern time who's making the kind of money that he's making who has done less. Like, Paul, how about you just look in your own conference? Just look in the SEC. Just look at what is going on in the SEC, and you will find coaches who have either done less or done the same, making virtually the same amount of money. Like, how wrong can you be in back-to-back statements unprovoked just to try to, like, bash someone for no reason, and then you're just completely wrong? So right now, Lincoln Riley ranks 8th. Again, none of this is true public knowledge because USC is private, but, you know, enough sources have come out. Right now, Lincoln Riley is 8th, making $10.2 million a year. It's a lot of money. Not denying that by any means. You got to win when you make that kind of money. But let's not pretend $10 million and $9 million is like a huge difference in the world of college football. And when you're making that kind of money. For us normal people, obviously $1 million is a huge amount. So let's just look within the realms of that. Let's first look in the division. Right? So Lincoln Riley 8th, making $10.2 million. Just below Lincoln Riley is Brian Kelly, LSU, $9.9 million. Now LSU, 3 winning seasons. I think 3 bowl wins for Brian Kelly. But I don't think it's been like a success story at LSU. I don't think everyone's saying like, oh man, this was the hire everyone thought it was going to be when they stole him away from Notre Dame. I mean, Marcus Freeman's done more at Notre Dame than Brian Kelly's done at LSU. So there's an easy example there, making $300,000 less. So that's an easy comparison. We've talked a lot about, I think USC and LSU have been very comparable through these first 3 years. Hired at the same time, both had a Heisman Trophy winner, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, have both had kind of similar recruiting classes. Even when you look at 2026, I think LSU was like 4. So, I mean, their program's on real kind of similar conjectures. So, I mean, let's just throw that out. If you say Lincoln Riley, you've never seen anyone do less, I mean, Brian Kelly's virtually done something very similar. Then let's look at one that's he just spoke on, saying Oklahoma's in a better spot. Brent Venables makes $8.5 million. So sure, $1.5 million less. That's a good amount of money, but he's 15th highest paid coach in college football. It's not like he's, top 50. He's the 15th. 6 spots lower than Lincoln Riley. 7 spots lower than Lincoln Riley. And as I said, Oklahoma went 6-7, 10-3, 6-7. And they seem to be, much worse spot now than they were 2 years ago. So I don't know what Paul Finebaum's thinking when he's literally trying to prop up Oklahoma and then not realizing the pay is similar and the output has been worse. Like, factually worse. Right? All right, let's stick in the conference. Making more than Brent Venables, just a touch below Brian Kelly, is Mark Stoops. Kentucky. SEC. The Glory Conference. Kentucky the last 3 years has gone 7-6, 7-6, 4-8 last year. Their last bowl win was in 2021. They won the Citrus Bowl. They lost the Gator Bowl and the Music City Bowl, and last year, obviously, being 4-8, did not make a bowl game. Mark Stoops has done more, making $9 million. I mean, that's not a lot less than Lincoln Riley. $9 million a year for Mark Stoops. He's been there for a decade. He's doing more. Let's stick in the conference. Right? Elijah Drinkwitz, Missouri. He's making $9 million a year. I haven't seen Missouri in the SEC title game. I haven't seen Missouri in the college football playoff. I haven't seen Missouri with notable, outstanding bowl wins. I'm not saying Missouri's been like a dump or bad, but it's not like Missouri's, with his contract only making $1 million less than Lincoln Riley, is like leaps and bounds above where USC is at. We can go, all right, who's making more than Lincoln Riley? Deion Sanders. He's making $10.8 million now. Just signed a contract extension with Colorado. Dude's gone 12-13. They have the 50th, 60th ranked recruiting class in 2026. Now he's going to be without his son, the quarterback, and without the Heisman Trophy winner who's gone in the NFL. What's Colorado going to look like? I'm not saying Colorado's in a bad spot. I'm not even trying to throw strays at Colorado, but 13-12 over 2 years and making more, and you're saying no one in the history has ever done less? Wild. Lane Kiffin also makes $9 million. Ole Miss, I think he's done a really good job at Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss has been better the last few years than USC the last 2 years. But they haven't been in an SEC title game. They haven't been to the college football playoff. It's like, what are we talking about here? So it's just, I swear, either something legit happened, like personal, or Finebaum must have something in his contract where he has to bring up Lincoln Riley. Because it is so laughable and so incorrect and so opinion-based. Like, it is now to the point, and I know he has power in the South, and there's people that kind of worship what he says in the South, but you have two different kind of personalities in sports, right? You have insiders who actually provide valuable information, and then you have the layman's term talking heads, but analysts. And so we can now confidently confirm that Paul Finebaum is not an insider by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe he wouldn't tell you he is either. But he is truly just a talking head, because when you say things that are so unfactual and incorrect, And now this is the second year in a row that he says Lincoln Riley will be fired after the season. Last year, he said he was going to be fired. He wasn't. Now this year, he's saying he's going to be fired after the season. I'm not saying it absolutely cannot happen, but I think we know that cover USC and are close. Like, unless he goes like 4-8, like he's not going to be fired. The momentum has kind of pushed him and his trajectory into the next season as long as they perform at a decent clip this year, which I think is 8+ wins at minimum, should be 9 or 10. But then you're just giving your opinions, and there's zero actual inside information. There's zero actual factual information. You are just purely an opinionated talking head. I've never met Finebaum. I would love to meet him. Obviously, the guy's been around for a while. He's a staple in kind of college football, TV, and radio. But yeah, it's laughable at this point, his disdain for Lincoln Riley. So let me know what you guys think. I'm sure everyone's sick of Finebaum, but hey, we only got a few more weeks to know football. So I just wanted to jump on real quick, hack him today. But yeah, we'll be all week, or not all week. The next 2 days we'll be at Big Ten Media Days, so a lot of actual news to come out of that. We'll be talking to Lincoln Riley, talking to Makai Lemon, talking to the other guys that will be there. So make sure to keep it right here on the USC LAFB YouTube channel, and obviously LAFBnetwork.com is where you can find all of our content. Can't wait for Lincoln Riley to prove Finebaum wrong. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Appreciate you always. And as always, fight on.